simulator, and got some news for you. Not gonna have to try and rush as many episodes out as possible over the next day or so, as I put a bit of money on my cell bill and got my data and everything turned back on. So by a bit of money I mean it was like $10, because that's all I had left in my bank. But yeah, I got my data turned back on so I can continue streaming on my regular basis. If the internet gets shut down, it gets shut down. Not much I can do about it until the 4th of next month. Which for some people watching it probably already is. For me, it's 8:24 a.m. of June 30th. So, if you're wondering why I was in the plates, I noticed that this one had an Alaska plate on it, and mine just had a regular no-name plate on it. I was gonna go and pick up a Saskatchewan license plate, or a Canadian license plate in general, and you got all the way from Germany to frickin' New York, but you think they'd give us a North American license plate? Kinda disappointed with that one. So we're gonna go to a place I think is a nice place down the States. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up a taillight. Hood's in my inventory. As you can see, the engine is non-existent in here. That's because it's over here. I did a bit of work off screen, or off camera I guess in this case, and rebuilt the entire engine top to bottom. So I just gotta get the car prepped, which means all of this needs to be repaired or replaced. Some of it I might be able to get away with repairing, some of it I probably won't. Like, for instance, some of this stuff. I wonder what the game would do if I put this thing in a test path with no engine. Can't start engine, yeah, okay. The game is intelligent enough to know. That's good to know. Brake problems. Let's go see what we can't figure out about this, shall we? Okay, that actually told me everything that needed to be replaced. I need 2 calipers, 2 drums, and 1 vented brake disc. Back to 1. That's gonna get me every time until I get used to it. 1 drum. Hold that thought. My short-term memory just failed me there. 2 drums, 2 calipers, and a disc. 2 drums, 2 calipers, and a vented disc. Okay, the 2 drums and then okay. I think once I'm finished this mission, I'm gonna go and take a look at the rims. See what we got going on for rims and tires for the El Camino. I had one come in just before this car here, actually. No, this one's the Firebird. Yeah, I had one come in just before the Firebird here, and it was an El Camino. But the thing was lifted. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that information, but the fact that we can lift cars intrigues me way too much. Fine, let's go back here. As you can see, things are going on a lot quicker with taking stuff off and putting it back on with the bolts and stuff now. I've got the second and third level of the skill to do that. I'll show you guys some of the work I've done in the skill tree here in a sec. Okay, so this one here I just put in. Beyond that, the last video you guys seen was, I think, me picking up this skill. I picked up this one and this one and this one since last time. I believe that's the only ones I picked up since. I think I got that one too. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah. Let's take a look and see what we got for rims going on up here. Got the rims that are on it already. How do these come in? Nice. Those don't look like too bad rims, honestly. I put them on a car. I mean, there's a lot of rims I'd put on cars in here, especially these ones. I don't think the rims are car specific, because this one has these rims on it. The other one that was in here had some weird off-road looking tires on it. Brakes and exhaust should be a relatively simple job. Oh look! Black fender. Black fender. Oh, this guy's got a black door too. I ain't got a black door, but I got a black tailgate. Look, you got a black trunk too. That's actually kind of funny. Funny and coincidental. Yep. It'll be that corner. Oh, this corner's good. I don't know if that thing runs discs or not in the back. I'm gonna have to take a look at the El Camino in a second. I want to see if that thing's running discs or drums in the back. Because I honestly can't remember. To be fair, I've never even looked. So I need a caliper, 2 vented rotors for sure. Brake shoes. We're going to just replace the brakes. 2 calipers and 2 vented discs. Didn't think it would. Wasn't sure if they paid attention to that. I was looking to see if it had an ABS module, but it doesn't. Kind of figured it wouldn't, but you never know. Some game devs don't actually pay attention to stuff all the time. Not 100% anyways. Need muffler. And that, I believe, is this card done. No, it's not. There's still something that it's not happy about with the brake system. That's fine. Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted either. Stick it in here. See if we can't figure out what that missing part is. Because I'm obviously missing something somewhere in the brake system. Figured the front brakes were going to be good. You know, I'm just going to replace the back brakes like I did the front. Do both sides. Just make it green all the way around. I went to the scrapyard and Actually, I'll do it again. I'll show you what I did a few minutes ago. Went to the scrapyard, spent like, went there with 8,200 bucks, came back, fixed some stuff, and sold everything I couldn't fix, and actually ended up having 8,700 bucks afterwards. You can do the same thing with the barn finds. I don't need to go all the way up. What am I doing? I mean, it really doesn't matter. Did that tell me? No, it didn't. Why would it? That actually kind of bugs me. Listen? No. Give me that back. No clue what I'm missing. I could easily find out just like... And there it is. Wheel cylinder. Wheel drum cylinder. There's one of these things. That was definitely the problem. Yep. Okay. I'll show you what I did previously. Let's just make sure I haven't... Let's get rid of that. Sure, why not? Damn it, I needed a matching head for the one that's on the engine. Yeah, here's a couple of the things I picked up from the scrapyard. There was the timing cover for the inline 4, this power steering pump, and another thing that I've already sold. I'll keep the camshaft and this thing for now. I don't need the fuel rail for an inline 3. I don't plan on touching it. Weak little car. Anyways, I'll show you what I was referring to. Go to the junkyard for 500 bucks. I had like a little over 9 grand when I fast traveled. No, I had 8,700 bucks. Well, a little over 8,700 when I fast traveled to the scrapyard. When I came back, I had below 8 grand. I think it was like 7,800 bucks. After fixing and selling everything, I had 8,700 something. Actually, I think I got here with about the same amount of money that I have currently. Essentially what you do is you walk in and you just grab everything. All scrap. Make sure you look at all of these cars, because if you don't, some of them you can actually get stuff out of. Same as some of these boxes in here. Not all the time, but some of the time. Yeah, see, here's an example of one of the cars. Like, even if the stuff is badly damaged, like that stuff there was, some of that was like 18%, grab it anyways. Because even though it's relatively poor quality like all this stuff is, you can still get money out of it. More than they actually charge you in here for it. This thing here was searchable last time I was in here. Oh. Nope. I searched that one already. Let's head over to here. Check this scrap pile. Nope. Oh, there's one. Yeah, see, and you can find the barn find maps in here too. So it's worth checking legitimately every vehicle. Ooh. I hope I can repair that transmission. That's a very pretty looking transmission. Yeah, this is the dead end spot. Or at least so I thought it was. Nice steering wheel sitting in there. T-case sitting in there. Can hear people screaming and shouting at me already. I know there was a scrap pile here I can look through. Okay, let's check out and see what this car is. Straight 6. Missing like 90% of the parts. I mean, then again, so was that Daytona that I picked up, but that was a Daytona. And I like really wanted it, so I didn't care how much it was missing. Nothing saying I ain't gonna find something in one of the barns. This looks to be a Corvette. Yep, little small block V8, that's Corvette. For 15 grand, and it's missing a lot of its parts. Oh, it's even supercharged. Supercharged Coyote. Bolt Reptilia. So that's what the hood looked like that I had was in my inventory. Had before I sold. Not interested in that thing though. Not missing that many parts. Another El Camino. Look at that, and this one's even lifted like the other one was. Yeah, see? Perfect example of different tires there. This one's got the... I can't remember what engine it was. OHV 6P. Wants 10 grand for this thing. I kind of wish I had waited to come a little bit longer then. Because this is the lifted one. Or a variant of the lifted one. I guess it's not really a variant of the lifted one. It's just another Or a lifted, it's just a lifted variant of the one I already have. I kind of wish I could steal parts off of it though. Because I'd totally snag that engine block and stick it in the Daytona. I'd probably steal the rims, tires, and suspension. Hood, windows. Probably leave the steering wheel. I'd probably take the doors, the tailgate. Of course, this taillight's already missing, but I'd probably take this taillight. Moving on. Well, it's everything out of here. Let's see, I've got $8,269 here. Now, if I were to leave, I'm only paying him $1,788. I say him, assuming the scrap guy's, or scrap person's a dude. This is kind of wrong to assume that, but 90% of the time up here where I live, the people that run the scrap yards are guys. So now is what you do is you come over here. Yes, that fixed the transmission. That transmission is going to be worth a nice chunk of change. That's worth nothing after I tried to fix it. Yeah, see, that transmission right there just made me back 90% of my money if I sell it. As it's a V8 OHV transmission that has all-wheel drive, I could convert my El Camino to all-wheel drive if I choose to. Assuming I can actually mount that transmission in that car. New barn. Oh, look at that, there's another transmission in there. And that one must be just below the threshold to try and repair some of that T-case. Yeah, see right there, $7,000. If I were to sell this transmission here, I'd probably end up with about what I had. 8,100, a little bit less. I ended up losing money on that run if I were to sell this. I'm gonna sell those. That's a hood off my car, so I'm not gonna sell that. I guess technically I don't need the power steering pump either. So we'll sell that as well. So if I were to sell the transmission now, I'd have a little bit more money than I had before. To show you, I will go to this barn and hope there isn't a Mustang sitting in here, because the last time I went to one of these things, there was totally a Mustang sitting in here. I was a little mad about that. And the guy only wanted 15 grand for it. He was missing the plug wires, the cap off the distributor, and one of the fenders, and all the windows. It's based off of the old Ford Mustang fastbacks. Kind of like Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. No, instead they're gonna throw a old Cobra and a GTO Judge in my face. That's just rude. Another hood for my car? Cobra. I guess. Yep, $31,000. There it is. And how much for the Judge? $30,000. Yeah. Even if I had shown up with another transmission. If I can fix that, that's gonna make me back a lot of money. Dude, he's got a satellite dish in his garage. I mean, to be fair, that does make sense. It's a tiny little barn. That really makes me mad, though. Look at that. Complete engine. Probably minus the plug wires, cap, and rotor from the looks of it. I don't know, plug wires are there. I think. It's hard to tell. I don't know. I honestly can't tell. Yep, plug wires are there on this one. So that means the cap and everything's there. The GTO was actually missing the plugs out, or not the GTO, my El Camino was actually missing the clips off of that. Cover for the carb isn't on it. Carbs, sorry. Plural, there's two of them under that. But yeah, you come here, you pick up all the stuff. Get teased with precious little morsels like that. You go back to your shop and repeat the process. And you can actually make quite a bit of money by doing this. Sometimes you'll lose money, sometimes you'll make money. It's honestly hard to tell what'll end up happening from it. I should go let my dogs out here in a minute. Yes. Power steering pump was fixed. No, that broke. That fixed. As did the water pump. So there's another 1,100 bucks. I'm not gonna worry about the hood. Well, I wonder what color that hood is. But the rear steering knuckle housing I am going to keep, as I get lots of vehicles in that use those. Yeah, see? There's $1,800 right there. That covers all of my costs. 100% of my stuff covered right there just by selling that transmission. That is for an B6A. So I'm not gonna keep that as, yeah, see, right there, right back to the amount of money I had. And then if you sell all of that, 7,700 bucks. Plus another 40 and another 80 right there. Don't need that. Screw it, I'll sell that too. I'm kind of curious as to what color the hood is, so I'm gonna hold on to that. Plus I got this crate too, which gives you parts and maps on the auto occasion. So right there, that's another 28, 32, and another barn. This is timing chain for rotary engine and a timing chain for a V6. We'll hold on to that just in case we get a V6 in. I wonder what color this hood is. It's a black hood. It's a gray hood. Sorry. That can come back off and get sold though, as I already have a hood for the car, which is in better condition. I do not want to do transmission stuff again. Just go away. Challenger engine is working, but give me that back. It's choppy. Give me that back. Stop it. Put in new timing parts, replace filters, figure out why the car won't start, and fix the brake system. Okay. Nice thing is, this is a newer car. Well, there's part of the brake system problem right there. Needs a new ABS module. Bet you it needs new spark plugs. ABS module, already new. Ignition coil, spark plugs, and an ignition. Oh yeah, I guess it'd be a newer engine, so these are the ignition coils, aren't they? No, those are fuel rails. Where the fuck's the ignition coil then? Just for curds and giggles, but see about that compression. Yep, everything in there is good. Where the hell is the ignition coil? This is kind of there's the fuel filter. Does that tell me everything as to why the engine won't start? Spark plugs, fuel filter, oil filter, air filter, timing belt, belt tensioner, water pump pulley, timing belt, 2 ignition coils, which I have no clue where they are. And the brake system is just the ABS stuff so far that we know of. Close the hood and move it over to lift 1. As lift 2 currently has a El Camino sitting on it. That reminds me. This drum brakes. I believe that answer is a yes. That answer would be a yes. Let's put that tire back on for now. Oh, lovely. The ignition coils are under... Hey. That's not rhetorical by any means. And it's the plug on this side. You know what? We're lifting this thing. We're just gonna pull the engine and fix it that way. I am not fit in a fight with that thing. Wait. Hold that thought. Wait. Yeah, I gotta drain the oil and put new stuff in it anyways. But yeah, I gotta take the transmission off and then take the exhaust off, which I can actually do now as that off, take this off, take the exhaust off, drop it back down, go over here, grab the engine lift, engine bay 1, pull engine. I want to work on it. I want to take it off. Take the engine off. This is the one I want. We're not going to discuss the fact that that's mounted through the transmission. Not mounted through the trans. You get the point. Belt tensioner. I don't need to take this off to get. Okay, yes I do. I actually have to take the. I gotta take the heads or the. I gotta take the top end apart in order to get that apart. Look at that tiny little water pump. In theory, I should be able to take those two covers off without having to pull the plugs. I will have to take out all the coils though. You know, for a Challenger, this engine is really rusty. 4 bolts hold the challenger's cover on, the timing cover on. That's rhetorical. That's confusing. Okay. What engine is this? Guess the smartest thing to do would just be going here. Two of those. One spark plug. Belt tensioner, water pump pulley, water pump. And 2 of those. Air filter. I gotta pick up one of those too, but I don't know what air filter it is. I think it's probably this one, as it's the only one that isn't specifically for anything except for a V8. As there's no air filter on top of the engine, it's safe to assume that it's mounted on in the engine bay, not on the engine bay. Fuel filter, I know I needed that. Two of those. Two of those. Last but not least, a water pump. And a water pump pulley. Really? Well, I have 2 belts that look or 2 timing belts that look exactly the same. It's rhetorical. I didn't grab a spark plug while I was in there. Guess I can only do stuff with that in the car. Take the engine back off. Have your remote die on you while you're streaming, because that's not embarrassing in the slightest. Yeah, no, I bought a fuel filter. What am I doing? Yep, I was correct about the air filter too. Just to have everything that I need for the brake system. That's everything from under there now. Way more work than was actually necessary to just replace those things. I could have done it within the engine bay. I just chose not to. There's the missing caliper. It doesn't make sense to replace all the brakes except for one set. And that's my cue to end this, but we're gonna try and figure out what's going on with that engine first. And something's still up and it's not telling me what. Fine. Plan B. Test track. What do you mean it can't start? Don't feed me that shit. Wrong button. Okay. I did a compression test, didn't I? And I don't have the fuel pressure tester yet. What the heck could be stopping it from starting? It's not the starter. I know all the coils are back in it and all the spark plugs are in it. Timing chains are both back in it. Well, it looks like we're stuck with another car in the garage again. Nice thing is, we have a way around that. Maybe. Yes, good. Take your shit out of my house. Well, on that note, we are going to cut this here, and I will catch you guys in the next one, either later today or tomorrow. I already posted up 2 of these things today, so probably gonna do some more work off screen, bank up a bunch of cash, maybe start finish ripping it apart this thing, maybe start work on the Daytona. Don't worry, I'm not going to rebuild that engine off camera. I'll just put a new motor in it and rebuild that one with you guys. But hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you guys in the next one.